What is up? This is your boy Mr. Marvel back with a video. I did my last video and I pressed it by my accent, but like I'm gonna say now, is the way to bring these characters back? Is the way to say, okay, they're alive, we don't, we can bring them back, but is it possible? And we don't know that. We don't know what's going on with that. We don't know if they're alive, if they're dead, if they're just, we don't know. Because it really makes you think, like, Marvel knows what they're doing. And we respect them for that. But, if somebody figures it out, oh shit, there's a way to do this and this, congrats. But there's a lot of theories that I would think that people would have on this, like, are these characters alive? Are they aren't? Are they dead? Or are they just, whatever? We don't know, because there's been a lot of linked videos of, let's set the Avengers for, different spoil, different this, different that, different, Coon, different whatever. All this crazy stuff. It's all different BS. It's all different whatever. It's this, it's that, it's you said, he said, all that. It's all this craziness, and the way they come up with it, it really makes you think, and you really do wonder, like, is there a possibility that these characters are still alive somewhere in another dimension? Because that really gets you thinking, like, are they in another dimension? Are they alive? Are they just trying to find a way out? We don't know. Or they just gone for good and they not come back? Because that really throws into question, like, if that is true, then who's playing Doctor Strange next? Is there going to be Doctor Strange, movie to continue it? Which there will be, but who will play that? If he's not back, then who's going to do it? Same thing with Spider-Man. And they bring him back now, from, again, from Infinity War. If he's gone, then, how the hell is he going to be in Spider-Man Far Away From Home? But they can't ties with that, like I said. They can't ties with that because they don't want to put any of that in there right now. And they rather wait, to do all that. And, I think that where they're starting it is they're going to have Peter Parker come in, on a school from Spider-Man Homecoming, and then continue on with, Spider-Man Far Away From Home, from, Scott Trip and all that, which is nice. But if they didn't do that, then, why are they doing this now? Why the hell are they just not lead off from, okay, there's another Spider-Man could take over. If he's still gone in another dimension, how the hell is he going to come back and do this movie? Because that's really a curious question, to where it makes you think, like, why would they do this now instead of waiting for the results of Avengers 4 and then see what happens with that movie? Because I can give you a lot of questions and details of answers of what could really happen in this movie, Avengers 4 Endgame. It really makes you think. It really draws the question to you, like, is there a possibility that they shot the gun too soon with this, with the Spider-Man Far From Home movie, to not add in with it from Infinity War into Avengers Endgame? I get they made it different. I get they changed the whole thing. They completely changed the game with that as well. But if they did tie into it, it'd be interesting to see how that would really react to the fans, and how it would really make it exciting to see, like, okay, they got this down pat, but, after all that, then what? I mean, it draws the question to a lot of us, and it makes you think, like, is there a possibility that Spider-Man's not going to come back at all, and it's just a hoax? But, the way the Marvel's confirming it is they're not tying it to anything with Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, which I can see that. But if they did, like I said, it'd be a little weird to see that, because it'd be, like, strange, like, okay, he's gone, but he's back, But they're not tying it, they're not doing anything with that, they're doing it totally different. I can see that, but it really throws everybody off the game, I think, a little bit now. But if it makes sense, it makes sense. But it still draws up questions, because we don't know what's going to happen in the Avengers Endgame. We don't know what's, chapter after that, because we know, from what I know, that they're making Secret Wars, but those are probably going to take a break for a while, which I can see. But after that, here we go with Secret Wars. But now it's the time to really get yourself thinking, like, okay, here comes Avengers Endgame. What's really gonna happen? How's the team gonna come back from all this? We know that Hawkeye's still around. We know that Ant-Man was trapped in his own portal. We don't know how he got out. That's the strangest thing to me, because that's just, we don't know that. Hulk's still around. We get that. A few characters are still there as well. Rocket and all them, and which is good. But the question is drawn to what's the end result of Avengers Endgame? What's going to really happen here? What's going to be a surprise or a shocker that we don't know about? And I think that might be one or two shockers, with maybe one or two. But I think it's something. I don't know what the result of it is going to be. I don't know what the outcome is going to be of it all. I don't know anything because I don't know. I just know that this is going to be really interesting to see Avengers Endgame, like what's the end result here and what's really going to happen. I know that they're coming out with another trailer to Avengers Endgame, either February part 2 of a trailer that they're doing Avengers Endgame, either January or sometime in February. I don't know, but I'm curious to see what that second trailer is going to be. I'm really curious to find out what they're going to put into that second trailer, because they already knocked out the park with the first trailer. What's the second one going to be? What else are they going to show us in the next trailer? Because that's really a curiosity to us. Like, okay, we know that Tony's in space. We know, everybody else is back at headquarters. We get that. But what's going to happen in the second trailer? And we don't know, because that's really keeping it intense. Like, is it a good idea to put out a second trailer now? Or is it good just to keep the first trailer and not put out a second trailer? Because if you put out a second trailer and it gives too much away, you're really kind of spoiling the movie a little bit, but not as bad. But don't give too much away, because that would just draw it away from, like, we don't want to know too much of what happens, but we're just curious to find out what really could happen after all this continues with the second trailer. And the second trailer would be whatever it's going to be. I don't know, but it's confirmed that they're doing a second trailer for Avengers Endgame. It's been on social media. It's, check Facebook, check Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. But it really draws a curiosity to us, like, what can second trailer be? What will it be? What can Marvel pull out of the hats now? Like, what would make us not surprised to see this? Because the first trailer knocked out of the park completely great. That was the huge hit. But and with this trailer now, what can we expect from? What can we see that will excite us? Like, okay, what can happen in this second trailer? What are they gonna pull out of the hats now? What can they do to excite us more for this movie? And I think just leaving it at the first trailer is fine, but I'm curious to see what the second trailer can become of Marvel Studios and what they can curate here, because it's kind of an interesting fact. Like, we don't know what happens in any of this. We just know what we know after Infinity War. We know that, some Cap's still around, Black Widow, all these guys, and which is great. But, what about everybody else? What about the rest of the people that survived? There's more to it that we don't already know. We're missing something. I mean, it's a very intense but stressful moment. It's very like, you want to know now, but just to wait and find out, it's like, it makes sense, because we lucky even got the trailer at all. We lucky even got the trailer now, because, if we didn't get the trailer, this past week, a few weeks past, we wouldn't know anything. But I'm grateful that they did it that day, because it makes sense to show it, the day after, after the, the George W. Bush, father died, rest in peace his soul, which is, I respect, which is nice. But to see the trailer after that really was good. And I'm curious to really find out what can they come up with now, because this is going to be a really interesting time for Marvel Studios, and to really pull it out of the hat. Like, okay, what is the second trailer going to be, and what's it going to be about? We know it's Avengers Endgame, but what are they going to show us? Because like I said before, they don't want to show too much of the movie, give too much away. They know what they're doing, but if they put too much out there, like, okay, we know a little more than we need to, that kind of tells off the game. But whatever they put into the next trailer, it's going to be awesome, and it's going to kick ass, and I think it's going to be a great success. It's just, everybody has a lot of questions about this and that, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, all these characters. Where's everybody now? It's just a really, really intense moment for us fans, and out there to really come up with this stuff, like, okay, this is going to be awesome, but what can we expect from this? What can we expect from the result of this as it now? And it's going to draw a lot of attention. I think this movie that they're doing now, it's going to be successful, it's going to be great. I think it's going to be a huge success. I can't wait to see it, in April. And it's just, I'm just really, I'm not concerned at all with it. I'm just glad that they're doing it now, and I'm really curious to see the trailer and see the movie, and second trailer, and see what that becomes, because I really want the facts. Like, okay, what can they pull at now? What can they do to this? It just makes it more interesting, and even with Captain Marvel coming out, what's the end game with that? We know she comes out, Captain Marvel becomes Captain Marvel, gets to Paris and all this stuff, which is all that, and which if anything happens at the end of the trailer, you know, we'll wait and see that. What happens at the end of the movie, I'll watch that because it gives you stay for the end of the movie because that's what I do. Gets all the answers and new questions asked. And when it comes to that, it's just we're really curious. So I'm really glad that Marvel's doing these movies now. Making it happen. It's just as fans, it kills us not to know what we can't see the movie right now, but I'm glad they did it now because if they didn't do it, they're not doing it until Christmas because they would have announced it on Christmas Day on Netflix. During that's when Infinity War's gonna come out on Netflix, and I'm gonna be watching that movie because that's really gonna draw the scene of the next movie because you want to watch that now again to get you answers more and more because it gives you more of a state of mind. Like, okay, we know what happens, but did we miss anything in particular? Did we miss anything that we need to really see? But if we can, I'll watch it again. I'll get my answers, I'll get my information, which I already have. Because I already own the movie, but it's down in Tennessee now. But I can't wait to see this movie, and I can't wait to get my reaction to it, and all that. So, but again, until then, this is Mr. Marvel. I want to thank I want to quickly thank all my 5 subscribers to subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it very much. And like I said, like and subscribe to the channel. Leave any comments. Share this video with friends. Put it on Facebook, social media, Twitter, whatever. Thank you very much for it all. Until then, peace.